Whenever you'd hear AMG GT, you'd visualize a two-door beast of a supercar smoking its tires on a racetrack. But that's not what we get anymore. The AMG GT is a four-door family car. It is not your tame daily driver. This is about a lot of power, as all AMGs are. And this also has a little bit of electricity running through its veins. Meet the Mercedes-AMG 63 SE Performance. It's a hell of a long name for a car that does not take that long to pace up to illegal speeds. The GT63 SE Performance is about big numbers. It's got a beautiful M177 V8 engine, which neatly houses two Borg-Warner turbochargers between the cylinder heads, making it a hot V configuration. And then it pushes boundaries further by supplying electricity to the rear axle via a 6.1 kilowatt-hour battery. The collective power supplied by the electric motor and the engine is about 843 PS or 830 mechanical horsepower, and it develops about 1470 Newton meters of twist force, which propels this car from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.9 seconds. And the engine alone is good for about 640 PS. The lithium-ion battery, it hides under there, and it's made by a company called High Performance Powertrains, which is the same organization that builds engines or power unit for Mercedes-AMG Formula 1 team. There are 560 cells in this 400-volt battery pack, and each of them is cooled individually and in parallel to 45 degrees Celsius, which is just the right temperature according to Mercedes. And the trick cooling system also prevents overheating. The driving range on electricity alone is just 12 kilometers, which is a shame, but I'm sure that you will forgive this car for offering such a limited range on electricity, because the growling call of that engine is just so beautiful and absorbing, and you'll completely forgive this car for that one folly. Back to the GT63 SE Performance. It gets rear axle steering. What that means is basically when the car is driving at less than 100 kilometers per hour and you apply the steering at the front towards, say, left, the rear wheels will move towards the right, so opposite to that of the fronts. And when driving at speeds over 100 kilometers per hour, the rear is going to be in sync with the front and turn in the same direction by up to 0.5 degrees. And that is essentially to allow for greater stability and high-speed safety. The suspension is the very familiar adaptive system. It's got air suspension which adapts infinitely to changing road conditions. The GT63 SE Performance gets the regular drive modes that you get in most Mercs, but there is an extra option in here, that of electric. The car can be driven purely on electricity up to 130 kilometers per hour, but the range again is very limited, only 12 kilometers or so. These days, L2 driver assist systems are available in cars 3, 4, even 5 segments below this car. So it's very natural for proper high-end brands to offer their best in the ADAS game. The GT63 SE Performance, in addition to the basic assist functions like blind spot detection and parktronic, gets adaptive cruise control and active steer function to keep the car driving in between the lane markings. List of features? Well, it's got all the general Merc bits. It needs to, because this is the flagship model after all. So it's all tick marks on stuff like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the versatile MBUX system. The GT63 SE Performance is a Mercedes-AMG, which means it plays a game of performance luxury. Performance is handled by AMG, and luxury is all Mercedes stuff. The cabin is properly plush, the seats are big and comfy, and the rear passengers will be treated to a great experience with myriad adjustability and also access to all the info and entertainment with the tablet. The GT63 SE Performance has hit the Indian roads at a sticker price of 33 million rupees, and that's before you start adding options. The only real rival to this car is the Porsche Panamera Turbo S Hybrid, which makes 700 horsepower, but its 0 to 100 time is, in comparison, a leisurely 5.3 seconds. So you'd be better off with the Panamera Turbo S. Its 630 horses makes it just 0.2 seconds slower to 100 against the GT63 SE Performance, and it is over 10 million Indian rupees less than the AMG flagship.